Hello, and thank you for taking the time to watch this introductory video on the importance of Microsoft Excel spreadsheets for business. This video will introduce you to how Excel can be used to enhance business operations by using statistics and graphs, as well as give you a starting point on how to use Excel for these purposes.
To begin, let us answer the question of how Excel is used in business operations. Large businesses will usually use some type of database software to store and retrieve data about their customers. This data is usually stored in tables, with columns storing different values about each customer, such as name, address, etc., and rows for the individual customers themselves. These tables can be exported into Microsoft Excel, where Excel's functions can be used to turn this raw data into easy-to-read information.
Data analysis at its basic level takes data from information and then information to knowledge. Information can be displayed as a short list of numbers, say a list that shows total volumes of purchases for each product. Or it can be displayed graphically, such as in a chart or a graph. Once information has been shared and explained in this format, it becomes knowledge. Managers use this knowledge to make decisions about their business. Without good data analysis to provide this knowledge, managers would not have a clear path to guide these decisions.
Now that we know how Excel can help a business become more successful, let's take a look at some of the common basic functions that analysts can use. Mathematic formulas are easy to do in a spreadsheet. With a list of numbers like this, one can easily find the sum, average, minimum, maximum, and count. These are common statistics that can be used in a variety of situations and can answer many questions. Let's look at something slightly more complex, but extremely valuable for an analyst to be able to use in Excel: pivot tables. A pivot table takes a standard table of information and compresses it into a readable format. With a pivot table, you decide what makes up the columns, rows, and data that are displayed. We start by selecting the raw data that we want to put into a pivot table. With this data highlighted, we go to Insert on the ribbon, then select Pivot Table. You will usually want to put your pivot table on a new sheet, so let's do that. Your pivot table first populates with no data. You will select what data goes into your pivot table using the menu on the right of the screen. Let us say for this table we want to look at total number of products ordered by location and by product type. To do this, we grab and drop product type and put that as our column labels. Then we grab and drop location as our row labels. You can see now how the table is starting to come together, but that the data is still blank. We are only looking for a count of each of these, so you can really select any category to use as your values. It's merely returning a count of the number of rows where each element is found. Let's grab and drop customer name as our values, since this will not have any blanks and will give us a true count of rows. Our pivot table is now complete. You can see how much easier it is to read this than it would be to try to find these values in the raw data itself. A manager can use this information to see what products are the most successful at each location and make decisions based on that knowledge.
This is only scratching the surface on what Excel can do for an analyst. In the following videos, we'll go into greater detail of these and a myriad of other functions. By the end of this tutorial, you will be able to use Excel's many analysis tools to take a table of raw data and turn it into powerful knowledge.